Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brooklyn Double Shade Semi-Flush / Pendant. This is going to be the 12-1374. So this is listed everywhere as a semi-flush, and it's a really beautiful semi-flush. However, a lot of people don't know that Hubbardton Forge has an amazing customs department, or we can take something like this, and I've done this on this fixture quite a few times. I've elongated it from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture to make it much longer, and my customers have used it in applications like in stairways where it was really beautiful, but they've also used it over kitchen islands. If it was a really small island, they would do one, because this can give a lot of light, and I'll get more into that in just a little bit. But they've also done it on larger islands where they put two. So it was a nice substantial piece, but not too big, and again, could throw a ton of light, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So that's why it is also a pendant. But in that situation, if you're looking for this to be a pendant, you're going to email me and tell me the overall height you're trying to achieve from the bottom of the fixture, which is going to be the bottom here, pretty much the bottom of all of it, to the ceiling itself. And then we're going to go through our customs department and get a quote for you, and then you'll be all set on that. Why don't we talk about some finish issues with this, finish options really. You have a pull down menu that says choose your finish, and you're going to notice that when you're looking at this, you're going to have a double shade. You have a shade above another shade, and then above that higher shade is going to be a stalk and stem going up to your canopy. So the fixture itself is going to be the higher shade, and the canopy, and the post going up. The lower shade is called the accent. A lot of people are going to do those in different finishes. Sometimes they do them in the same, but I've seen them more likely done in a lighter finish for the bottom part, in the upper fixture a darker one. So that's just something you should know. And you're going to notice there's two pull down menus. It says choose your finish and choose your finish for the accent. So just kind of remember that. So another thing is the glass on this is going to be Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, which is an opaque glass. It's very milky white. I'm going to get more into detail on how this is made as well, because that's going to be pretty important. Canopy up on the ceiling is going to be 7.5 inches round. It's going to go over your 4-inch junction box. This is what you guys have in your ceiling. And the weight on this is very light. It's only 8.4 pounds, so you don't have to worry about any of that kind of thing. The other cool thing about this is those shades can rotate, so you can kind of change the look of this by just moving the shades around a little bit, and you can change the design to your liking. And that can be done during your installation or any time after. It's very easy to do all that. I want to show you a little bit more information about all this, and how we're going to do it is to look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. Excuse me. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list, how the shades go together, how it goes onto your junction box. It's going to show you really good line drawings of the inside of this fixture. It's going to show you line drawings of the top of it, canopy, and how it goes on the J box. Lots of great details in those drawings, so you should always take advantage of them. And that kind of leads us to what you can do with this as far as lamping goes. It's going to be using a G9 socket, and G9 sockets historically had been halogen way back in the day when these first came out, because there were no LEDs back then. And you can still use a halogen if you want to. You can use 3, like one in each of these obviously, up to 60 watts. But why would you want to do that when there's so many great LEDs out in the world? And we're going to talk about a couple of them here. So, like I said before, this can give a lot of light, and I'm always of the opinion that you want to put in pretty much the biggest bulb you can get and dim it down with a dimmer, so you have the light when you need it. So if you're doing cleaning, rug cleaning, or any kind of cleaning, you can jack that light up and really light the room. If you have friends over and you're just having a nice romantic time with your loved ones, you can dim it all down and just drink wine and pick a cheese and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. So this is a phosphorus LED that's still out in the world, and these still exist, but these are the ones that everyone seems to be buying, and what I see mostly out in the marketplace. This is a cob LED. So cob LEDs have little pads inside. It looks like a corn cob, and there's even some on the end right there, and they just push in, so they just go in like that. So it's very simple. There's nothing too difficult about them. I can find these at Home Depot and Lowe's and Ace Hardware and all those kind of places. But if I want to go for something like super bright, and this is a 100-watt equivalent, believe it or not. So don't forget, you got 3 of these lights. So you could get the equivalent light of 300 watts of light coming out of just one pendant, which I think is great. Because it can, if you are going to be using this on a kitchen island as a longer pendant, it'll put great light down on that island, you know, if you're chopping vegetables and all that. And then again, like I said before, you can always dim it down. It's not a big deal. These bulbs are always going to be available to you in different types of bulbs, different colors of the light coming out. They're going to offer you 2700 Kelvin out in the marketplace, and that's a super yellow light. They're also going to offer these to you in something called daylight. So be careful of that one, because daylight sounds like it should be a warm light, like sunlight sounds warm, but it's not. Daylight is 4000, 5000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. That's that bluish white light, like a convenience store or an overcast day. Be leery of that one. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white or soft white. That's 3000 Kelvin. That's what you're going to see mostly offered out there. 3000 Kelvin is that light coming down from these LEDs above, and it looks like an incandescent glow. So it's a really nice middle of the road warm light. In any event, you want to kind of go for the biggest bulb you can, because we know this is going to fit in here without any problem. So that's not a problem at all. And just make sure it is a dimmable bulb. That's going to be the very important thing. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this, and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway, because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.